Good morning, and thanks for joining us here today. I'm Mike Perrin with WT Cox Information Services, and we've had the pleasure to partner with Zendy Discover here, and Cameron will tell you a little bit about the service and what that all entails, but not to steal his thunder or anything, but it's an AI platform that basically creates a library-rich experience for content in the library. It's both open access as well as subscription-based services. Some of the key aspects that are exciting about this is AI assistant through ZAIA, which makes the speed of research a little faster, as well as creating organized user organization, as well as providing environments to where it could be both on a library level or an individual level. So without stealing too much of your thunder, Cameron, I'll bring you up and let you tell them more.
Thanks a lot, Mike. Well, good morning, everyone. So I'm Cameron, CEO and co-founder at Zendy. Today I want to talk about the journey, how we got here, and the product itself. So thanks for coming by. So I'll do a mix of a few slides, not to bore you with too many slides. Then I'll go onto the product. Hopefully the Wi-Fi speed is good. We'll go through some of the key features and what's there to offer. And at the end, if there's any questions, I'm more than happy to go through these. Just close this and let's get started. So our story started with the idea of removing barriers and accessing scholarly literature. So this is a mission for Zendy when we started. So the whole idea was to make access to scholarly content more available worldwide, especially for individuals. So this product started for individuals because there was no solution available out there for an independent researcher, for a lifelong learner, for anyone who was not part of a big university to be able to access the scholarly literature. Things have moved fast with other services or other industries like the music industry. We all have the Spotify subscription. Before, when it started, there was Napster, there was some resistance from the big music players, but eventually when the subscription-based models came out, we all took them on. Netflix, Spotify, and so on and so forth. So the platform started with being able to provide access to individuals no matter where they come from or what their background is. So we're reaching close to 1 million users now, and this is just in over a year and a half ago. An interesting factor just to share over here is the age group of the users are predominantly from the 18 to 24 bracket, which shows there's a lot of interest from the younger generation who are really looking out for new tools, and they're sometimes a few steps ahead when it comes to technology. And I would also like to highlight that we've got other professionals as well, so not just researchers and academics. Again, those different demographics are also finding the content that they're looking for. But in general, one of the issues that we face in today's landscape is the speed in which papers are published, and keeping up with the number of publications per day is just an impossible task. And there's up to 30% of the time for researchers, they spend time on the literature review. So the question is how we can harness technology to remove that barrier. So AI opens up fundamental opportunities for research, but what are the challenges? From one side, you've got the traditional discovery engines, and then you've got the big AI companies, the open AIs, right? So when it comes to the discovery, there's a lot of challenges with incomplete data, inaccessibility of full text, irrelevant research outputs. And when you go into the big AI, there's this issue of trust. There's this issue of licensing. There's an issue of traceability. So and that's why many libraries have still not made decisions when it comes to the application of AI tools. So how does Zendy support? First of all, I would like to share our approach to AI. First thing we did is when it comes to any AI tool, you need to share your intention. What do you plan to do with the data? So we were one of the first companies that actually shared our AI imperatives. Share, okay, this is how we treat the data, this is how we use the data, and this is how we include content. And then the next thing that we did was to really go through a licensing method. So we started talking to publishers, and any content that we can include in the AI assistant is through a licensed, and this is an ongoing discussion. So literally through every Frankfurt Book Fair, London Book Fair, even in Charleston, any sort of big conference, one of our roles is to discuss and to be able to license more and more content for the inclusion in the AI, because that's very, very important. And some of the conversations have been going on for a very long time. So in essence, the whole idea is to support on the literature discovery of the research process through the various tools. Mike mentioned ZAIA, which is the Zendy AI assistant. So it's you can call it a domain-specific large language model that uses RAG technology, which I'll explain later, to be able to find relevant answers to your questions. We talk about discovery, fast discovery, how to support a literature review, and how to support you in the research design. Now, I touched on this, the differences in the data, right? First of all, whatever data that we license, we don't use it to train the model. So it's important to make that differentiation. We don't train the model based on it. We use something called RAG, which is retrieval augmented generation, to be able to, on the fly, find the answers to that relevant question and to be able to give you a relevant and traceable answer with links back to the references. Okay, so there's open access publications, there's licensed data, and we don't scrape data from our verified websites, right? So this is one thing that we don't do. In all cases, we have agreements. So recently, for example, we had an agreement with World Bank, OECD. So in the research process, the grey literature becomes more and more important as well. So data makes a huge difference. So it's very, very important. Now, later on I'll talk how we can add another layer on top of that and using the latest technology to include your own local data as well. You might have your own repository, you might have your libguides, you might have different data sources. So the important is on that discovery journal that no information gets missed out, and the researcher, the academic can find all of that very, very easily. So I mentioned about we've got different models, but the enterprise model will really give you that integration to be able to add your own local repositories, data sources, libguides. In some countries, there's also local language requirements, and I'll tell you how those are handled as well. So this is basically the structure that I was mentioning. It's not like ChatGPT, that is just basically based on a pre-trained model where all the content is there. The idea is to reduce hallucinations and increase the accuracy. So really, the aim is to, like, when it comes to research, like we were talking with the library, and they're saying if there's one hallucination out of 10, that's not enough for us. And really, we need to get closer to that sort of perfect mark. So a little bit of technology over here of how this works and how things spring. So so the information that you're looking for is safeguarded with references, and the accuracy is, so the references are basically verified. So I went through the slides. We'll go on to the product itself. I will just highlight a few of the items there, and then what we will do is I've got a few ending slides as well. So basically, this is when you go to Zendy.io, this is what you will see. You can sign up or you can log in. So let me just so we're at the mercy of the internet speed of the conference center, so that's an issue with live demos. The Wi-Fi cards are not on my side right now. refresh. There we go. Okay, we're in. So I'll just show you. So at the top, we've got the search and we've got the advanced search. We'll test that a bit later, right? On the left-hand side, of course, you can always go back to the home page. Lists are reading lists that you can create for any of the articles or chapters that you're interested in. Bookmarks, you can bookmark any individual article in your search and you can always come back to it. ZAIA is the Zendy AI assistant. Now, something very cool that right now we're working on, and we think it's the new generation of discovery, is you will not have two separate search items, or one search and one AI. We're combining these two together. So depending on your question, if it feels like a prompt, it'll give you back answers, but it will also give you back results as you would typically search, and you'll be able to filter that. So our next big thing with the dev team is the next generation of discovery and combining traditional discovery with AI prompting. And I think that would make it super, super powerful because it hasn't been done to the moment. And so ZAIA, I'll explain. At the top, you see some interests. So counting, addiction, please don't judge me. These are not my interests. This is a demo account that my IT colleagues have created. But I'll tell you what's the benefit of these, in addition to recommendations based on your subjects of interest. And you can always update these interests at any time. In general, when you log in, you can set the topics that you're interested in up to 5. You can either search for a topic or you can explore by subject, and I'll give you a list of all like in health and medicine, we'll give you all the different. That's why addiction was chosen. Health is the first one, so there we go, that's the answer. I'll tell you another good benefit of the recommendation based on your interest a bit later. So let's give it a try. Climate change. So, of course, you can keyword, title, DOI, everything. So I'm not going to go through the different search capabilities, but just to give you an idea of what it does. So, well, more than 1,500,000 results. So Zendy Plus, this is for individuals, you can ignore. But you remember when I was telling you about the personal interests, right? So by turning on this toggle, it will update the searches based on your interest. Let's say you have set your interest in agriculture, right? And you search the word apple. So instead of bringing you results that are related to Apple, the company, and the technology around it, it will provide you with search results related to Apple in agriculture and so on and so forth. So this is a very smart toggle that actually updates your search based on your interests. So there could be climate change, and I don't know how it could be linked to addiction, but you get what I mean, right? Dates, resource type, if it's article, book, chapter, subject. Again, you can narrow it down by subject. You can narrow it down by the journal. And language, there are content from around in 60 languages on Zendy. So you can filter it by any language. And that language detection is also AI based. Okay? So that's an important element. So let's move to the right. You see something called insights. So this is AI generated, what I call a meta summary. So go through the article, and in one sentence, or however to deliver that context, will give you a quick summary of what that article is. So you don't need to go through it, you don't need to go through the abstract, just on the right hand side, you can quickly see it, you can copy it, you can turn this button on or off at any point you want, but it's a really quick way of identifying if this article is related to your literature review. You could just bookmark it over here, you can share it with someone directly, or you can add it to a list. Now, the way that Zendy was designed was to be able to give you the shortest click path, right? So see over here, you ran a search, you saw the results, insights good, download. So in one click, it will download the article. That's what it is. So it's really that shortest click path that, again, that when we were designing this, we say, how is the best way, the fastest way to access the articles? So see, you search insights, you can click down, download directly. Now Ask ZAIA is, so ZAIA I mentioned is the AI assistant. So what does this do? It will, sometimes you want a quick summary, sometimes you want to find things fast, but at other times you want to have a deeper understanding of that topic, of that paper. So you want to interact with it. So basically what Ask ZAIA on the result does, first of all, it'll give you a set of questions if you're not sure where to start from, but then you can ask any question about the article and bring back answers from that article. So this is like for a deeper understanding of a specific concept. Also, spoiler alert, another thing that we're doing that is coming out in the new version is you will be able to group articles together. And by uploading them, we'll be able to give you that analysis and that interaction with a multiple group of articles. So this is the AI assistant on an article level. But if you want to see more tools on want to see more details about the article, you can see the bibliometric information with the publisher, language, ISSN, DOI, and the subjects. You can, of course, share it. This is the summarization, and what it does is summarizes it into different sections. So the introduction, the discussions. So we'll summarize that article into different sections. You can add notes. If you want to add a specific note to what you're studying, and to talk about later. And key phrases, what it does, it basically shows relevant words to your topic of search. So really, it's like a mind map to be able to find linkages in different words, and if you click on any of them, it will produce a new search. Okay, so let's go back to the results. So as I said, very simple. Read PDF, you can ask ZAIA, download, and cite. Cite is basically giving you options to be able to cite that article in Harvard, APA, MLA, Vancouver, and Star. You can share it, and I didn't show you this, but from the PDF, you can actually export the citations. This is where you can. Okay, so as you continue to browse through your results, and another thing that we changed, you can jump pages. You don't have to scroll for. You can just pick. For example, for search results from page 6, you can just jump to the next page, and you can easily click and go back up to what you're looking for. So pretty simple. One thing that I forgot to mention is there's like an alert button at the top. So here is like giving you, there's a special offer on up-to-date subscriptions for individuals. If they want, they'll get a notification. But in your library, you're able to add that notification to something specific that you would want to share with your users. So that's something that will just be an alarm up there, and if they click on it, it could be a webinar, upcoming webinar, it could be something related to the topics that are there. So let's go to the AI assistant, right? So let me just ask a question. So ask the question, it's searching retrieve data, and it will give you back answers with links to the research and the articles for further reading, right? And yeah, with faster internet speeds, it's faster, but you get the idea. Again, the beauty over here is that you can integrate it with any sources. Like if you've got subscriptions, if you're using a discovery engine, we can through API, we can link to your discovery. So this can be used as a platform in multiple languages. You can search your whole library and retrieve content. So this could be the gateway. So again, verified references, and you can ask different questions, and it can save your conversations, or you can start a new conversation. Now, I promised that this would be quick, so I'll just go back to PowerPoint. I'll close so I can finish on time and leave some time for questions as well. So, what are the different models for the library? There's a free open access version, right, that is freely available. Anyone can sign in from anywhere in the world. Of course, the AI tools are limited on the free version, but you get unlimited access to the art. So our sort of contribution to the open access world is to keep this free. So currently, publishers have gone on for free. We do have a subscribe to open optional contribution if an institution would like to make, but that's optional. And moving forward, publishers, they would need to, there's a charge for publishers to be able to have their content on their open access. But whatever is there, it's all free. The premium version, which is the second version, gives you unlimited access to the AI tools, right? So it's basically what you see on the platform, plus the AI tools for research. Now, where libraries really would benefit is by what we call complete, by we integrate any existing subscriptions that you have into there. Because in general, we have a lot of the metadata agreements already in place with the publishers because of the individual model. So if you've got the subscription and the metadata is already there, we can make the content discoverable already on the platform. If you have a discovery tool like Summon, EDS, Primo, through API, we can provide that, and we can provide you with access to all of those. So really the complete is the most comprehensive, where as a library, you can get the full benefits of the platform. Now, this is how it works in the agentic world, right? So I used RAG, that's one of the agentic models that we use, but using the agentic AI method, as I said, you can ask in any language, it can be English, Spanish, French, and you can get answers back in those languages as well. And we can index your own content, and we can manage your holdings into that. So it makes it that comprehensive discovery with the AI layer on top. Now, in general, to be able to provide questions and answers to your query through these mechanisms, that's all good. For us, we are also constantly licensing that AI option for individuals, so to make the content as rich as possible. Our goal is to make it a source of truth in all this today's world of disinformation and disinformation, where you have access to the scholarly literature and you can find it. One, for example, another area that we're working on, which is not available in general AI, open AIs, is if you have a retraction from an article, what happens to that? The model is trained based on that and will provide answers. So we're constantly building a mechanism that, first of all, it will flag retractions, and then second, it will not include those retractions into the answers of ZAIA. So I hope that's clear. I promise a question. Yes.
Is the pre-indexed content that you're getting from the publishers, is that metadata, or are you working with the full text from all of them?
It's both. Yes. Yeah.
Are there any top 5, 10 publishers that are not participating?
Wiley
is.
Yeah, IEEE. Yeah. Springer, we're final conversations, we're having discussions. Taylor & Francis, we have it for some regions. So it's, of course, you can imagine there's some hesitation with some larger publishers, but the way that we've built it, the mechanism that we have, first of all, it's transparent, it's licensed, and then we have a clear, transparent revenue share model for any data provider, so that gets protected. And our hope is that publishers will be also at one day be able to transfer some of that onto Optus as well. Really be able to have that fair model. And that's it from me. How you can join, and you can, if you want to request more details, this is where you can scan. And I'm here throughout the conference. Mike here, based here in the US, and we're working closely together. So if there's any questions, any further, or you need a demo of your institution, we can definitely arrange that. And I think that leaves some time for questions as well. So yeah.
When you were giving the demo on the live website, could you go back to that? I had a question about the results of the.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, here, no, this one. At the bottom, you've got suggested references. None of them are cited in the summary above. Is that information that was given to us the result of those references, or are these just really like general related papers?
So there, first of all, it's a mix, it's a combination. So it's general answers as well, but then the references, I forget on one by mistake, there's going the details from that reference, but it's not highlighting which section, and that's something that's for the agentic we're also working on to be able to have that clear connection.
Okay.
Which sections are coming from which references. You had a question?
No, no, I'm just watching it.
You said that it doesn't train the model. Do you mean that the queries that people enter is what's not training the model? Because you're obviously training the model on the content from the publishers, right?
No, again, we're not training the model from the content of the publisher
At all.
either, at all. It's all right.
The RAG is completely okay.
Yes, yeah. Because again, once you train the model, it's like pulling out a strand of pasta from a bowl of spaghetti. It's lost. So anyone who licenses the data, they train their model, that's it, that information. No matter what price you get, the information's gone. So it's important to be able to have that traceability and be able to have that connection. And that's why publishers are also more comfortable with RAG.
And it's much more up to date that way, is what you're saying, right? It's like,
And it reduces hallucinations, traceability, all of that is there as well.
thank you.
So
Yes, thank you.
on integration with Primo, for instance,
Yes.
does the library have to work on the API?
Now, if you have the API, so by providing us with the API, we'll do that integration. Yeah, so it's an easy process. If you want later on, we can arrange a demo because we've got a Premium API for testing, so we can show you how it would work. I'll give a couple of minutes extra time to the next presentation. Thanks very much for listening and attending. Thanks, Nick. Thank you.